What's up, Aquarius? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a general tarot reading for the full moon coming up on November 27th. It's going to be at 4 degrees 51 seconds Gemini. It's going to be at 4:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be in the 6th mansion of the moon. I'll put a picture of the 6th mansion up. We've had it before. It's about making friendships, things like this. It's understanding the give and the take, the light and the dark, the polarities. It's understanding that it's not one or the other, that it's a whole. But you can read about it. I'll put it up there. For Aquarius Ascendant, we're talking your 4th or your 5th house is where this moon's going to be. This moon is actually going to be touching all 3 malefics. It's going to be opposite Mars, trine Pluto, and square Saturn. Big bad Satan Saturn. But honestly, Pluto is just as bad. And Mars, I kind of put him in the middle because he kind of just rules anger, sex, and kind of aggression, competition, things like that, and passion in general. So, I mean, the feelings are going to be real intense, specifically in communication, because Gemini rules communication and learning. So you're going to have real intense feelings probably around communication. So I'll say be careful. And it's also opposite the sun, so it could bring it out. Pluto rules rage and like strategy. And it's a trine, so it probably shouldn't be so bad, but you're still going to be heavy, intense energies. This card wants to come out, especially because it's Scorpio. It rules Scorpio, and Saturn. He's just a bad man. He likes to put boundaries around things, and he's what Satan's based off of. Saturn, Satan, Shaitan, and Islam. I mean, you can't make it up. This is the card that came out for you, Aquarius. Just be aware the energies won't last that long, only during the 27th and maybe a little bit before and a little bit after. Be bold and make the first move. Oh, man. Could be relationship stuff coming up. Let's see what the tarot cards say. So, yeah, I mean, it's only, the aspects will only be for a couple days. Like, it's going to happen on the 27th. That's probably when the energy is going to feel the heaviest, like real heavy. So just be careful. It's really going to be around communication mostly, I would think. So just like, if you see other people like snapping and being angry, or like you've hit intense situations coming out or intense feelings seem to be popping out here and there, especially around family, just kind of recognize, be conscious of it. The more conscious you are of it, the less likely it is to affect you. That's the whole aspect of learning astrology, is to be conscious of, the meanings and the transits and what they can mean and what they can do. That way when they come around, you can be like, oh, and it really won't affect you as much. Like you can outgrow it. You can't stop the energies from being there, but you can kind of outgrow them, right? You can kind of integrate them. Imagine a picture of Carl Jung's about to pop up. Knowing me. But when you're unconscious of them, you're just going to be kind of a slave to the energies. You're going to be like, F you, and we're doing this way, and the tensions might be high. And competition, especially in competition. Because Mars rules competition. It can be really intense. Like if you're out there gaming and it's like you're losing, it's like usually a whole lot worse at it. Or you're like playing like a card game or like a board game with your family. It's like, screw this. Throw the table over. There, that stop right there. All right, of course, let's see if you get the lovers. Be bold and make the first move. Uh-oh, it's an offer that's not being seen here. Happy cards, though. That could be a marriage thing right there. Some of you might be destiny. Ooh, this is big energy here. The Hierophant with the Wheel of Fortune. Huge energy. And when I say huge energy, I mean like the macrocosm. The architect type stuff. You have a lot of major arcanas here. You have the Aquarius card in the advice. A wish or a dream. Something you have to make a first move on. It's like, I don't see anything necessarily mean love. I mean, it could be because I see Justice in the Hierophant, so it could be marriage, but I don't see like an Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, anything like that. But we'll have to see the clarifiers to really get down to them. This is on the bottom. We'll see if it plays a role. Being strategic, or somebody maybe taking something from you, maybe talking behind your back, stuff like that. For every Aquarius, this is going to be different. I got 2 paths here. One path, some of you may be on. The other path, maybe for the other Aquarians. This is a general reading. Some may experience both. Some may have already experienced it. Some may experience a little bit of time from now. And some it may not resonate. And if it doesn't resonate, try to watch your other signs. And hopefully some of them resonate, because it is a general reading. So I'm trying to do as many interpretations as I can of the cards from what kind of flows through me at the time. So your question seems to be about a fire sign, a specific individual. Maybe somebody you had an argument with, or maybe somebody that's maybe a family member, or maybe you have fire in your chart. Looks like you're asking about, an argument you had with somebody, because it's, swift energy right there. 5, it's squabbling. Looks like specifically maybe with a fire sign or a fiery type individual. Someone that's fiery doesn't mean their sun sign has to be fire. They could have fire in their chart heavily without even having a sun, moon, or ascendant in fire and still be heavy fire. It's definitely possible. You have like a stellium in Aries or something like that, they're going to be heavy fire. Make no mistake. So, fire signs are always quick to anger, but they're also quick to forgive. Looks like you're asking about an argument that you had. And when it's saying being bold, make the first move, it may be like maybe you argued with your spouse. And it's like, you need to be the one to kind of make peace. Somebody's going to have to step forward and, be the bigger individual. When I say the bigger individual, because, you all have your own roles to play. But to at least open up dialogue to, start working through it. Because it's like, there could be a communication come in. Maybe somebody asks somebody to marry them. And maybe there's the family's like, no, you can't do that. That kind of thing. It could be. This is not wanting to see something. This is not wanting, to me, it feels like you're not wanting to make amends. There's some kind of argument or situation that happened. Like individuals are squabbling. It could be family. It could be, like I said, spouse. And you're not wanting to make amends. But you have the Hierophant with the Wheel of Fortune. This is tradition or divine guidance in some way. It could be, the Almighty God, the Grand Architect, right? It's not wanting to see what's in front of you. You may not want to see the destiny that lies right in front of you. It may be everything's like just the signs are everywhere and you're not wanting to see them. They're all telling you to do something, and the synchronicities are going to be unique for each individual, but you'll know the things that you think about, then you see a synchronicity. What were you thinking about? The things, a situation that just happened, and then you see a synchronicity. What's that trying to tell you, right? So you got to pay attention to those types of things. It could be just flashing in front of you right now, right? And this also could be something that happened on social media. If you have any kind of social media following, or you're a content creator in some way, you're not wanting to see something that either you did or that someone else did that involved you in some way on a major scale and kind of put you out there. And that's this path. But it seems like you're not seeing the signs that are right in front of you. It's like they're flashing, like you need to do this, and maybe you're not seeing them. Like, don't miss the signs, right? This other path is moving forward, victoriously. It could be also be getting a new vehicle. It's a good time of year, new car sales, but it's unlikely. That'd be very specific for a certain individual. But it looks like moving forward. It's 2 victory cards, right? I think this path is that you're not paying attention to your intuition. This path is like you are not listening to the inner aspect of yourself. You're not listening to the unconscious side. You have to make the unconscious conscious, and then that's when you're connected. That's what synchronicities and things are. That's when your unconscious is speaking to you. That's the all, right? That's no boundaries. Our portal into the vast openness that is the beginnings of creation, right? So when you're seeing those synchronicities and things, there's something you're unconscious of. You got to make it conscious. That way it doesn't, and when your dreams are real vivid, you're seeing like symbolisms. Even consciously seeing like animal totems at specific times, it's still your unconscious trying to get your attention about something, right? This is you actually paying attention to it. You got 2 victory cards here, and that's the Hierophant, or the High Priestess. That's your intuition speaking, or the shadow speaking, right? You need to pay attention to that, because their whole objective in life is to make ourselves whole, be ourself, by integrating both the unconscious aspects that we repress throughout our life for whatever reason with our conscious aspects, and then we become a whole individual, right? And everything we find in the unconscious, a lot of it's going to be stuff that's like negative, because that's the stuff we don't want to pay attention to, we don't want to make conscious, we don't want to see, because it makes us uncomfortable. But those things, if you repress them over time, they're going to come out in mysterious ways, because your unconscious self is trying to teach you something, and you're going to call it fate. But realistically, it's just an aspect of yourself yearning to be acknowledged and yearning to be felt. Regardless of how negative or immoral you think it may be, you still need to acknowledge it. You don't have to do it, or you don't have to be like that, but it needs to have a place in acknowledgement and be conscious. That way it doesn't have to be repressed, build up, and fly out. So over here, it looks like you're listening to the unconscious, or you're seeing the signs, and that's going to move you forward. Victory, you got 2 victory cards with it. So if you need to pay attention to what the synchronicities are. They're going to be popping up around you like crazy, right? This over here, you're not seeing it. And like it's like the powers that be are like, yo, look, this is big time fate. This is like the big step that you need to take for whatever you're doing. Be bold, make the first move. I don't know what that means. for each of you, but you're going to have to take a step forward into whatever it is for you. And it's going to be different for many of you, but it's a big step. It's going to be something very important. You just have to put yourself out there. You know, be bold and make the first move. If you're trying to be famous or accomplished, let me tell you something. The signs that I would associate with fame the most, you know, is Aquarius and Sagittarius. Sagittarius specifically, but both of the Eos signs. Those are the famous signs. Those are the ones that kind of end up can be famous the most. And through my studies anyway, you'll see a lot of famous Aquarians. The 11th house represents all your role in the greater social sphere, so it can absolutely represent fame. And Sagittarius is Jupiter, so like, you know, Jupiter's the biggest planet. So I mean, the sun's really the biggest entity, but as far as like the individual planets and their influence on us and us manifesting, the Leos can be a lot famous too because they are the sun, but mainly it's going to be Jupiter because it's associated with it, and Aquarius, 11th house. So this is the advice. You got the Aquarius card, right? If it was an argument with a spouse, like, cause that I can still, you know, I can see that as well, right? And not wanting to communicate for whatever reason, and it could be maybe you're planning a wedding, right? Or something like that. And it's like you're not wanting to give ground on something, whatever that may be. I mean, because I'm seeing both interpretations here could definitely be. And over here is everything moving smoothly. Like if you are getting married, or if, you know, you're going to a wedding or with your spouse, this is moving forward over here, and, you know, being open and listening. This is like being closed off and not listening. You know, this could be a healing. If there was an argument, you don't want to be stuck in it. Saying don't be stuck in an argument if you're in an argument with whoever for whatever reason. That you want to bring healing to it. Don't leave things unsaid. If you had a breakup and you're separating, don't leave on bad terms. I mean, even if you still have to leave, don't leave on bad terms. You know what I mean? Try to get out and say how you really feel, and hopefully, you know, the other individual does the same. If it has to do with that, but this looks like more of like destiny stuff. And again, you got justice here. So this is like, if it is marriage, it's like a marriage proposal, or you're contemplating marriage or moving in together, something major. You know, there's a final judgment here that has to be made. Seems specific, but I mean, the marriage cards are here, but I don't see like the lovers and stuff. So it's hard to say. It could be a court case. Like I said, it could be social media as well. But I mean, the reason I say it's a court case, I mean, you have a happy home card here. You have a final judgment about your happy home, but then I see the justice card, right? This could be some of you getting married, again, like a marriage proposal. But it also could be a big destiny coming in. Be bold and make the first move. You have to take steps into this. Follow whatever the synchronicities are. And it could be about a relationship. The signs that you're seeing, you could be thinking about somebody specific when you see it. And like whatever you were thinking at that time, it's like you see like, you know, 333 or 444 or something like that. It's like, pay attention to what you just thinking. Start breaking it down, you know. Am I on the right track? Am I off the right track? You'll see different numbers and they'll represent different things if you really pay attention. Or like different animals. Like just like something on the radio will pop up, you're thinking about it, and then it'll say something very similar on the radio. Stuff happens all the time. That's the unconscious speaking. That's an aspect of yourself being like, you need to do this, right? The unconscious doesn't have boundaries, so it's all the information flows together, so it knows everything, right? But it also isn't linear, so it's hard to like cognize it in the material aspect that has boundaries, right? In the linear perspective. So it's like, it's something big. You're making a final judgment, you know, about something big. And it could be marriage or a happy home, right? You could be making a big judgment about family. There's some kind of argument that happened. And maybe you're worried that like, maybe you were on that path to like get married or get together in some way, but like now it's like, you're questioning everything for whatever reason. So maybe something came up about their past, even though I don't really see past cards here. There was some kind of argument with somebody. Specifically looks like a fire sign. Or there's some kind of fire sign coming in. You're asking about a fire sign. It's somebody you probably care about a lot. Say, don't leave things unsaid. Maybe you feel like somebody was stealing from you or doing something behind your back in some way. Uh-oh, get the sorrow card here. That's the heartbreak card. Ooh, with the devil. And the Wheel of Fortune again. Okay. Well, fate's coming in quickly. Because that's the eight of rods. Get the Wheel of Fortune on. This is fate. Whatever is occurring is fate. It's fate. This path, you're not seeing it. Your eyes are close to whatever the situation is. You're refusing to see the situation. Over here, you're moving forward victoriously because you're listening. You're seeing the signs. You got to make the first move in whatever this is. You got to make the first move to get in, or you got to make the first move to get out. And then, you got sorrow on the fire sign here, the Queen of Wands. You got the Three of Swords. Like maybe y'all had an argument and broke up. But maybe you shouldn't let it go because this may be the one. Because I'm not seeing necessarily new love here. And the devil's on the squabbling, the arguing. That's, that is the devil. That kind of energy, right? As it manifests through us. Because it's not good or bad. It's not God or the devil, right? It's just us. It's our interpretation. It's how it flows through us. We are a microcosm of these energies, and they flow through us to exist in the way that they do and in the way that we define them. So that argument, that squabbling, that's the devil. That's the devil trying to get into your relationship. Don't let him in. It can be overcame. All you have to do to defeat the devil is make the decision to do it. It's that simple. I mean, the circumstances around it and the experience is going to be a little bit more complicated than that, but you just have to make a decision. If this is something you want to stick with, this is someone you want to stick to, this fire sign, then stick to them. Because if you work it out, I imagine this is the individual you're getting married to. I know this seems specific, but this is what the cards are telling me. Like, the intuitions are speaking all around you, all over the place. This is big stuff. So if it's like, if the intuitions are saying, you need to like, if maybe you're both like obstinate, you're not. I mean, Aquarius is a fixed sign. All fixed signs are obstinate. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, all obstinate. We are fixed, which means we don't move on positions. So whatever this situation was, if you're both obstinate in some way and you don't want to make a move, be the one that does it. Same, be bold to make the first move. Be the one that does it. Because I think this is someone you don't want to let go of. This is someone you don't want to let go of. This is destiny stuff here. This is big destiny stuff. You got Wheel of Fortune twice. You got the Hierophant. That's beyond us. You got the High Priestess. That's attached. That's how you communicate with what's beyond us. You got Justice, Judgment. You got Mage cards. This can be an enlightenment card. Look at his head. He's enlightened. I mean, it's changing a different perspective, right? So you got the Hangman again. Now, on this part, it's being stuck. This is being obstinate because it's on the Four of Cups. This is you not wanting to see. This is a fixed idea, a fixed position, a fixed stance on something. Don't stay in that fixed stance. And you got the Eight of Rods again, swiftness. This is swift justice. Or justice is swift like Hierophant. Like, this is swift, probably communications from beyond. This is like, could be marriage proposal. It's like maybe you've been together a while and maybe they're proposing to you and you're like, I don't want to give up my freedom. Or I like it the way it is. I don't know. I mean, maybe you should. I don't know. This is something valuable coming your way, Prince of Discs. And it's on the Wheel of Fortune, so it's something valuable. If it isn't in relationships, it's something very valuable coming your way, and you're going to have to take a step toward it to achieve it, right? It's going to have to, if it's like a financial opportunity, you may have an idea about it. If you can see the signs and hear the intuition, and it's like something you've been thinking about doing, do it. Like, make the first move. Go ahead and take the first steps to it, because if you take the first steps toward it, you'll figure it out as you go. Just take the first steps toward it. Because that's what we do as people. We're smart. We have higher functioning brains for a reason. We can communicate with words. We have critical thinking. We have frontal lobes, prefrontal cortex. We can think. It's good. Use it. We also have, that pineal gland that can attach us to the unconscious aspect of things. Produces that melatonin when we sleep. Yeah, this path is looking delicious over here. Now, this path is moving forward and being open. This is not being obstinate. This is being open. Choose this path if you can, because you got the Chariot on the Chariot. This is it could be literally moving. I mean, that could be the aspect, right? To keep the relationship together, they're like, I've got to move, but I want you to be with me. Maybe you don't want to move. But this is you moving. Taking the steps forward. and it leads to big gain. Whatever these intuitions you have on the High Priestess, it's valuable. It's very big. It's good. And then on the Victory card, the Six of Rods, you have the Prince of Wands. Moving forward passionately. If it's a business opportunity and you have to move forward, do it. Big time. It's big time. Like I say, you have this big opportunity and you have to move for it. Maybe your spouse doesn't want to move, or something like that, or maybe you don't want to move. There's some kind of argument happened around it. But maybe you should, because it's looking good over there. I mean, the outcome, it's justice anyway. Final judgment will be made. And you may not even have even if you delay it now, I don't think you're really going to have much of a choice in this. Just because the Wheel of Fortune is here. This is destiny. You don't want to miss destiny. You don't want to miss fate. Like, fate is in your face. The signs are flashing. It's going to be different for each of you, but these signs are flashing. You're seeing them. I don't know what the intuitions are that you're having. I don't know what the synchronicities that you're seeing are, but you're seeing them. There's communications from the other side to you. There's communications from the grand one. So you need to pay attention. We are in the age of Aquarius now. Like, this is like, divine communication. Listen. Open up. Easier said than done sometimes. You know what I mean? On the star, you have satiety. You have the Ten of Cups. It's having it all. That's the advice. Heal the situation. If it is an argument that you have with someone, whether it be business, family, whatever, spouse, heal it. You feel like that you have the power, by standing the higher ground, and maybe you were right? Maybe you were right in this situation, but still, sometimes you have to acquiesce. You know what I mean? Take your pride out of it, because you feel like that gives you power, being right, being on the high ground. You know what I mean? And it's probably, to change your perspective is hard work, and it is for any of us. Once we get fixed in an ideology or anything like that, we associate our identity with something like an idea or whatever it may be. I mean, it has to be an idea most of the time, right? Because even if it is something tangible, it's still an idea that we have about it. It's hard to break that. So it could be hard work to break that. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be destiny. Yeah. Divine communications about your destiny. Don't miss it. Try to be open. Like, I'm sitting here telling you to do these things, but like, really, the best thing to do is just kind of be open. Just kind of be open to it. If forgiveness is needed, forgive. Forgiveness is divine. Don't hold a grudge. Let me look at the outcome. Looking damn good. Got the Sun on the Ten of Cups. Boom. Big timing. Final judgment. You creating exactly what you want. Your dominion. On justice. Abundance. Right? So you're coming out on top either way. I mean, if you have to make that change, like if you don't want to get back together, I still think that things are going to work out in your favor. You may just end up getting back with them to begin with. But it looks like if there's something about a fire sign. The question or the situation is about a fire sign. Now, could it be fire in your chart? It could be. You could have fire in your chart for sure, like heavily. But either way, it's still some kind of squabbling argument that happened, or some kind of contention that's like you don't want to agree on. But yet, if you acquiesce, an opportunity opens up. Like if you're able to forgive and like back off your stance and like try to accept, their point of view, regardless if it's right or wrong, and again, right or wrong is relative. It isn't this or that. It's just us. It's, it's manifestation to us. You can be like, oh, well, this fact and this fact and this fact. Yeah, well, all those facts were created in a language that was made up called English, right? And all these systems around them that we made up. So it's still all made up, right? We use it as a way to like guide ourselves linearly through the conscious aspect of life. But these communications are not conscious. They are unconscious, and they're coming through like crazy. Anyway, Aquarius, I know this seems all real confusing, and it's probably going to seem that way. It may even seem like you're going mad, but you're just opening up. And all it is an opening. You're opening. Your unconscious is opening up. Could be like a catharsis. It could be some kind of this divine communication. Listen to the communication. Move forward. If it's saying move forward away from whoever this individual is because you're squabbling, then do it. Move forward, right? If it just seems completely toxic and no way out, then move forward. But if it's like somebody you really do care about and you know they really care about you, and it's like it's some kind of stance that you happen to be at, and like neither wants to budge, budge, forgive, and everything comes in afterwards. It's one way or the other. Either way, it's divine. All right, that's all I have, Aquarius. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. It helps the algorithm, I think. Either way, I'm glad you're here. You don't have to if you don't want to. This was an interesting reading. Either way, I hope you have a happy holidays, and I hope to see you here again. Bye-bye.